It appears that former President Donald Trump is not a big fan of fruit, a specific type of fruit. Now, in transcripts of an October 2021 deposition, so understand that this happened a long time ago, but it was just recently filed in court on Tuesday. Here we have a little bit of a look into former President Donald Trump's hatred of tomatoes. Yes. Now, in fact, he went on about how dangerous not just tomatoes are, but pineapples, and how, very, very dangerous. It's a very dangerous fruit. Dangerous fruit. Now, Trump was testifying under oath in a civil lawsuit brought by protesters alleging that they were assaulted by security guards outside of his New York offices back in 2015. So now, of particular interest to lawyers representing the protesters were Trump's remarks during a speech in Cedar Rapids, Iowa on February 1st, 2016, in which he had told attendees, quote, "If you see someone getting ready to throw a tomato, just knock the crap out of them." Now, who knew, of course, Donald Trump's own words would be used against him? Very strange. Except that everybody kind of figured that out. But anyway, when he was asked, hey, why would you say that? Trump testified that his campaign had received a threat. Oh, no, a threat. But, well, look, was there a gun? Was there a bat? Mace? So somebody threatened him? No, they were threatening him with fruit. In fact, he said, quote, they were going to throw fruit. Fruit. And if you get hit with fruit, it's very violent stuff. We were on alert for the fruit. Watch out for the fruit. Very, very dangerous fruit. Which is funny because this is the guy who talked about using Second Amendment solutions versus Hillary Clinton. And yet the guy is afraid of fruit? Oh, they're going to throw tomatoes. It's bad, very, very bad. They're always so incredibly scared when it comes to innocuous things like fruit. I guess that explains why they're all so heavily armed all the time. They're scared of pretty much everything. And then of course they all have an arsenal of guns. Now, Donald Trump himself, you remember, he went and hid in the bunker. He's a bunker bitch. And it's because of the fruit. It's because of the fruit. All right, now, he also said, he went on, it's worse than tomato. It's other things also. But tomato, when they start doing that stuff, it's very dangerous. There was an alert on that day. Right. It's a tomato alert. A red alert? Interesting. All right. Now, Trump then conceded a little bit. Oh, okay, it's sort of a joke, but then went to contradict himself, shockingly, saying there's a little truth to it because hurled tomatoes, very dangerous stuff. You can get killed with those things. With tomatoes? I've never heard of anybody getting death by tomato. Maybe, look, just because I've never heard of it doesn't mean it's never happened, but it's got to be extremely rare, if it ever has. Death by tomato. Now, look, I'm not saying it wouldn't suck to get hit by tomatoes, although I would never know because I've never gotten hit by a tomato. And I don't advocate for people to hit other people with tomatoes. But I don't really see it as being deadly. Now, if you were throwing a watermelon or a cantaloupe or other types of larger fruit, then perhaps that would do some damage. Now, of course, the downside to that is you'd have to get pretty close. Okay? Your range on the watermelon, for example, would be quite low. You'd have to get real close to Trump and just chuck it, which, again, I don't advocate for. But it would be very difficult to do, as you'd probably get tackled by Secret Service beforehand when you even try to get close. So very limited range on that. Now, that said, Trump went on. Oh, yes. He said, and some fruit is a lot worse than tomatoes are bad, by the way, but it's very dangerous. No, I wanted them to watch. They were on alert. I remember that specific event because everybody was on alert for the tomatoes. They were going to hit hard. Wow. Now, he was asked whether anybody there had actually had any tomatoes, which again, would be very easy to spot. It's not like you can stuff them in your pocket, all right? A bag of tomatoes, not very easy to conceal. In fact, you would probably have better luck with perhaps soup. A can of soup. Soup for your family, though. Because that's what it is. Soup for your family. I don't know. You know? Obviously, nobody had any tomatoes. And so, look, it worked out that apparently nothing happened, according to Trump. Now, moments later, when grilled about further declaring during an Iowa speech that he would pay for the legal fees of anyone who knocks the crap out of a protester, Trump once again said he had faced a serious threat. Is it your expectation that if your security guard sees someone about to throw a tomato, that they should knock the crap out of them? He said, well, a tomato, a pineapple, a lot of other things they throw. Yeah, if security saw that, I would say you have to. And it's not just me, it's other people in the audience that get badly hurt. Yeah, I think that they have to be aggressive in stopping that from happening, because if that happens, you can be killed if that happens. Yeah, okay. And he added, this is during cross-examination, and getting aggressive includes the use of physical force. The lawyer followed up, to stop somebody from throwing pineapples, tomatoes, bananas. Well, that would be bananas, by the way. Bananas they're not very aerodynamic. They're not going to fly very well. So if you're throwing a banana, you're going to have a difficult time. Okay? Nonetheless, apparently throwing bananas, he had said, and added, it's dangerous stuff. Now, look, I don't think that we should equate throwing fruit to punching someone in the face, getting aggressive with somebody. Now, again, I'm not saying that you should do either of those things. Please don't. But you can't really make an argument that one isn't worse than the other, because one is. Again, you can get hurt by fruit. I would think that it's a bit of a rare occurrence, but it's much more likely to do some lasting damage if you're in a confrontation with security guards who are like tackling you and punching you in the face. Much more likely to damage versus fruit. Just say. Look, if you were caught throwing fruit at anybody, even politicians, then you should be escorted out by security. Not that security should break your face in doing so. Okay? There needs to be some restraint here, obviously. Again, but for people like Trump, understand that it's not just the physical aspect of this, or really even the danger. I think for him, it's more of the indignity, the embarrassment of being hit with a piece of fruit. And again, that's what, that's like the common trope for somebody who is not entertaining, or like not a good comic or entertainer, things like that they get booed and they get, tomatoes thrown at them. So for him, I think as a background as an entertainer, you would think that he would be more susceptible, to thinking about the embarrassment of being thrown, having fruit thrown at them, as opposed to anything else. And of course, he's also a coward. Very, very big, cowardly, super weak person who hides in the bunker all the time. So yeah, that makes sense. Trump being terrified of fruit. And that's why he wants maximum force against anybody who would dare to do that. And again, I don't advocate for that. If that happens, yes, they should be dealt with a measured and correct response in removing said person, and then allowing the authorities, like law enforcement, to be able to quietly separate them and do whatever punishment I guess fits that crime.